Well, thank you, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Show Sports Podcast. I hope everyone's having a great day. Of course, it's your boy, Big Show. So let's just jump into the sports headlines and things that went on today. We're going to talk about the college championship games that's coming on this weekend, and we got one on Friday. So first, let's get into the United States. They are going to the World Cup. That's pretty good. Hopefully they can win that as well. Let's talk about also we got Deshaun Watson. He's making his return back to Houston this weekend. A few of the people that accused him of what he was accused of, they will be at the game as well. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but they will be at the game, basically letting him know, hey, we're here. Our voices has been heard, and we're here, and that's how that's gonna be. So, Aaron Rodgers, he will play through his pain. He got good results on his scan as well, so he will be back. Texas, they got a quarterback that's gonna go into the transfer portal, but I want to talk about the Wisconsin hire of the Cincinnati Bearcats head coach. I spoke on it a little bit the other day, but I want to touch back on it. I really do think Wisconsin this is a great hire for them. It'd be something to see that school get back to where they once was, because Wisconsin is a good school. It really is. It produced a lot of good players from there. So I think Luke Fickell will do a very good job of bringing the winning atmosphere back to Wisconsin. That should be interesting to see next year. I'm waiting to see that. And again, I want to recap on the Stanford head coach opening that's there. I know a few names is heading, in that direction, but who's going to get there? Who's going to be the coach in Stanford? Auburn, they have their man. That is one of the hardest jobs in college football, is coaching at the University of Auburn. You have to win in Auburn. SEC altogether, you really have to win. You can't have a back-to-back losing season or just not going anywhere. You have to win in the SEC, and that's a proven fact. Auburn is one of the hardest coaching jobs in the nation. We know that. That's been proven, and we understand very clearly. If you want to win, you want a great job, Auburn is that place, and they have their guy. They have the men that they want for the job. So, do you think a lot of people probably, hey, how come Cadillac Williams didn't get the head coaching job? Then I don't know. But he will continue to help the team out, starting next year. But we're going to see what Auburn is going to do next year, and we're going to come back and we're going to revisit that. Tonight in the NBA, we got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are 11-10, and Dallas is 9-10. It should be a great game, but I think the Golden State Warriors, they will cover. This game is on TNT, so I believe Golden State will cover this game against Dallas. I've been saying for quite a bit, Luka Doncic, I think he needs another star alongside of him, because to me, I think Luka is wearing down. And plus, I said before, he should be the MVP, but that's starting to change real fast. Joel Embiid, he's playing out of his mind. He's playing like a monster. He's playing like a freak. He is that guy out in Philly. But the thing is, before we get back on that Dallas thing, how far can Philadelphia really go? We're going to get into the standings later on, but back to the Warriors in Dallas. This should be a great game for Golden State. They need this victory. Golden State needs this victory in order to keep on moving atop out in the West. But again, they played the Dallas Mavericks today at 4:30. The New York Knicks 9-11 versus my Detroit Pistons. They're 5-17. This game will go either way, but I'm gonna give this game to the Knicks. It's not really nothing that I can touch on this game because both teams aren't really playing that well. The Clippers and Kawhi Leonard and PG-13, they're playing the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers they're 11-9. They gotta get it going. They were so hot at first. I don't know what's going on out there in Portland, but they have to continue to get better. You don't want to fall all the way down the West because the West is a really hard division in the NBA to come back into. Let's give you the standings as we're speaking on this right now. Let's go to the West right now. Phoenix, you're number 1. Denver, they're number 2. The New Orleans Pelicans, they're 12-8 at number 3. Memphis, they're 12-8. The Clippers is 12-9, and Portland is 11-9. And Golden State, they're playing very well. They're Sacramento, they're playing very well. They're 10-9. Golden State is 11-10. So you have to keep winning in the West. You don't want to keep losing because if you keep losing, you're going to drop all the way down. But I will say this: the New Orleans Pelicans, that is my dark horse in the NBA this year. They're winning games. They're playing better. Zion Williamson, he is that man that we thought that he would be. A lot of people was talking mad smack, talking, oh, he's not that good. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He had to get those injuries away from him. So hopefully we can see Zion Williamson get much better. He is very well, and I love the progress that he has made so far this season. So I hope the New Orleans Pelicans, they can take that next leap, get deep. I know I'm too early to say this. Hopefully get deep into the playoffs. Maybe, possibly, they can maybe get to the finals. But that is my dark horse team right there to make a few surprises. My MVP pick right now, it was Luka Doncic. It was. But now it's Joel Embiid. Because this guy is playing like an absolute freak, an absolute monster. So let's get into college football. We have the championship games, the title games. They're here. So Friday, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to give you those games coming up. Thank you. Okay, we have the Pac-12 championship game Friday, December 2nd. Number 14, Utah versus number 6, USC. Should be an interesting game. It's not going to be a runaway game for USC. I really hope USC is taking Utah very, very serious. If they want to stay focused, you can't overlook Utah at all. Please don't do that. Utah could be very, very dangerous. This could be a trap game for USC. We need USC to lose. Alabama fans and the Ohio State fans, we need some of these teams to lose this week. So will it start Friday? I will not be able to see this game, but I tell you what, it's going to be interesting, real interesting. Then Saturday, December 3rd, Kansas State versus number 4, TCU in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. Another interesting game. This could be one of those games. It could be very, very tricky. Then we have number 5, LSU Tigers versus number 1 team in the land, the Georgia Bulldogs. I hate to say this, but it's basically true. The SEC championship game is meaningless now. It really, honestly, it doesn't really matter if Georgia loses this game or not. because of what happened to the Texas A&M game. And I know a lot of fans around the nation was watching this game against A&M and LSU. It showed a lot. And it told me everything I needed to know. They're not going to the championship. The LSU Tigers, that's done. That's over with. Wash your hands with it and throw it away right now. They're not getting into the championship. So Georgia, I think Georgia will play LSU. They're going to play them kind of hard. I think Georgia will win. But like I said, I don't think if Georgia loses the game, Georgia is still heading to one of the big games. So I don't see Georgia sliding out nowhere. Maybe if something happens, they'll probably go to 2, maybe 3. But I don't see Georgia losing this game. Let's just keep on going. American Eagle Conference Championship. Here we go. TCU versus Tulane. Purdue versus Michigan. Notice these games were Saturday. Clemson versus North Carolina. These games were Saturday, so let's give you my picks for these games. USC versus Utah. I needed to happen, but will it happen? I don't know, but I'm just going to pray and hope it happens. Utah will beat USC. TCU versus K-State. I don't see this game being an easy walk in the park for TCU, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going with them. I'm going with Kansas State because I have to go with Kansas State. Georgia, of course, they're going to beat LSU. UCF versus Tulane. I got UCF. Purdue, Michigan. Watch yourself, folks, but it's going to be okay. Michigan will win this game. And the ACC Championship, I'm going to give it to Clemson over North Carolina. Any news in college football? Of course, it's news all the time. The key question is this. Who's real worthy to be called the number one team in the land? Who is that team? Could they surprise us people and put Michigan as number one? That's the question. Number 2, where do The Ohio State and Alabama Crimson Tide land? You know they're going to flop to 5. One's going to go to 5. One's going to go to 6. And Tennessee's done as well. Remember, people, it matters how you lose and who you lose to. Remember, I understand Tennessee, they beat Alabama. Yes, they did. They beat LSU. But they barely beat Alabama. And the voters look at this. But they blew out LSU. So the thing is like, okay, but Tennessee lost to South Carolina. Got blown out by South Carolina. So why should I put them ahead of Alabama? What game has Alabama been blown out in? Somebody tell me that. Can't tell me that. So I really do believe it's going to be like this. The top 4 is going to stay the same. Ohio State will be 5. Alabama will be number 6. Tennessee will be number 7. That's my pick on that. So hopefully Georgia State at number 1, but things can happen. We're going to find out here real soon who's going to be where. But watch number 5 and number 6. That's going to tell a lot. That's going to tell a lot right there. Who's going to be 5? Who's going to be 6? Because you want 3 and you want upset alley to happen this weekend. You want chaos to happen. You just hope and pray. Besides the Georgia LSU game, Michigan goes down, TCU goes down, and USC goes down Friday. You hope and you just pray that happens. That's what I want to happen. But we're going to see this weekend, guys, on what's going to happen. The Rose Bowl, they gave Wednesday deadline for the college football committee. Texas, they got Cord, the quarterback, he's transferring in the transfer portal. Georgia Tech, they're looking for an intern coaches. Kentucky, they fired their offensive coordinator after one season. So, and let's get into some of the awards that's going out right now. Well, the awards is not now, but these are the names that for the Maxwell finalists, of course, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Hilton Hooker, they are your Maxwell finalists as top players. Man, I really hope Caleb Williams wins. I really do hope he wins. That will be December 8th on ESPN. Other award finalists are Chuck Brenner Award, Defensive Player of the Year, of course, Will Anderson Jr. I think he has played his last game in Alabama, Sanford Bryce Young, Arvin Page Jr., and let's see what else we have for the receiver of the year, Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Hutchinson, and Jalen Wyatt in Tennessee. Let's keep on going. The Davey O'Brien, outstanding quarterback. Here we go. Max Duggan, TCU. CJ Stroud, Ohio State. Caleb Williams, USC. Oh, man. Bryce Young's name is nowhere so far. And the Jim Thorpe Award, outstanding defensive back. Travarius Hodges Tomlinson, TCU. Clark Phillips, and Devon Weatherspoon. Heisman Trophy, I'm going to give my pick right now. I'm going to tell you who I think should win, but it's going to be close. I think it's come down from CJ Stroud, Ohio State, and Caleb Williams. That's just me right there and my thoughts on that. Northwestern, after a 1-11 season, they fired the defense coordinator assistants. A lot of people is getting the boot out in these college football stuff now. Clemson wide receiver broke Collins' knee surgery. He's done for the year. But the big question, everybody, always again, what do you think Alabama's going to stay, Big Shaw? They're going to 6. Auburn, of course, they have their guy in Hugh Freeze, but this is the best fit. We're going to come back and touch on this next season. Deion Sanders, he had a job offer to Colorado. Should he take it? If I was Deion Sanders, I'd spread my wings. I would spread my wings and go. But Cadillac Williams, he said, let's go to work, excited for the future on the plains. I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm hearing. But I think it'll work. I really do hope that works out to get Auburn back to where they once was. Like I said, Auburn is a very tough place to coach. So you have to win games there. Let's get you to some hockey games for today. We have the Lightning versus the Bruins. Then you have the Sharks. They are also in action today. They're playing Montreal today. And we have, I'm going down the line, because there's a lot of games, the hockey tonight. My first time really covering hockey sports. I'm kind of nervous about it. I never touched on it before, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit here every now and then. The Islanders, they'll be playing Philadelphia. Here we go. We got some more. Seattle, they will be playing LA. I'm new at this, so work with me on the hockey stuff. I'm trying to get it going. Washington, they're playing Vancouver. So I think that's it for the hockey stuff. But like I said, I'm trying to learn it, trying to get there. I'm not the best in the hockey world, but I will get better at that next week. So let's go to college basketball, men's college basketball. We got some games for you today. Kentucky versus Bellarmine. Kentucky should be able to win this game. If not, something needs to happen in Kentucky. They're 4-2. Maryland, they're playing Louisville in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Illinois versus my Syracuse Orangemen. Norfolk versus no one team in the land, and that's the Houston Cougars. They deserve it. Baylor versus Marquette. This is the Big East Big 12 battle. Virginia versus Michigan. Virginia is number 3. They're 5-0. Michigan is 5-1. UCLA versus San Diego. These are your games for today, and I'm going to give you the games for tomorrow. Here we go. Purdue, they're number 5. They're versus Florida State. McNeese versus Tennessee. Ohio State, let me get it right. The Ohio State versus Duke. The Ohio State is 5-1. Duke is 6-2. And Iowa State versus North Dakota. North Carolina versus Indiana. And Michigan versus Notre Dame. That should be a very great game to watch. Keep an eye on that game, folks. But this is your boy, Big Shaw. I'm signing off for today. I might come back home tonight, but we're going to see what happens. But y'all have a great rest of your day. And thank you for listening to those that listen. Thank you very much. And have a great night.